Monbasa, Mvita. Topic: the prisoner, the cat, and the genius. This is a story that you were once told when I was in the teachers training college. A resource person who was challenged, visually challenged, came and gave us a lecture. And that lecture still lingers in my mind. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about the excitements in this story. I'm going to talk about the happenings in this story. I'm going to talk about the reality in this story. Yes, it is a true story that happened somewhere, like told by the resource person who was visually challenged. It was to teach us on how to follow life, how to perform in life, not to take things to be the way we see them. Like I say always, this world is not the way we see it. There was a prison, and a prison goes with all that happens there. You get a thin mattress, some prisons don't have them, and a blanket. Others in advanced countries may have a bunker bed up and down, usually a thin mattress, and a blanket. And that's all, because everything else belongs to the prisons. Everything else is done for you. In our term, when you put in prison, we say you become a visitor to the state. A visitor? Yeah. Because you will be fed. And you will be closed in the prison attire or guards. And for each day that passes, there's some little amount of money that you are paid. So you live there. Sometimes you work, sometimes you don't. And you're clothed there. And they pay you some money. So there was a prison. This prison was in an isolated place. Let's say an island or an isolated mainland. And a criminal who had committed lots of crimes, was a rough man, a fighter, a terrible man. He'd fought, he'd stolen, he'd done anything evil that you can imagine of. So he was arrested by the police that time, taken through the due process, taken to court, found guilty, and then he was sentenced for so many years. He stayed in prison wondering, this life is tough. Try to get an appeal lawyer, but can't get the lawyer, can't follow through the process. So in his mind, he had this idea. One day, if I get the formula of escaping from this prison. I will escape and go to a faraway land. And there I'll be a very innocent person. I'll never commit a crime again so that I don't go to jail. And in this prison, there was a stray cat that would sometimes walk over the roof of that place to go and get leftover food in that prison. So when the prisoners had had their meal, some of the leftover food was there, and the cat had discovered this place. And it would go and get the leftover food. And anytime it would come over, the prison warder, the guard who was guarding the prison, would wake up because it would run over the roof, and he would wake up. And after a while, the cat would meow the way the cats, and he would, it's only the cat. Then he would sleep. And the cat kept coming frequently. She used to come at midnight. So the prisoner knew about the cat. The prison warder knew about the cat. After some years, a genius who had come from a foreign country had involved himself in crimes was arrested. He was taken through the due process. And one evening, the prisoner got somebody who told, this one will be your roommate. And his name is Genius. And Genius came and spent the first day, the second day. They would talk with the prisoner. And the prisoner did not like much talk. When asked about anything, he would say, my life has been a rough life. I've done many bad things to people. I've suffered in this prison, but if I can be able to get away. And then the genius would laugh. But after some few years, the genius also got into that position. He wanted to get away. So being a genius, he was very thoughtful. He asked the prisoner, I heard you talking of getting away? The prisoner told him, exactly. Have any idea? And the genius told him, yes, I've been here and I've been listening to what the prison warder does out there. And I've been hearing the cat coming every midnight. Can you be able to connect anything? The prisoner told the genius, yeah, a cat comes. And a prisoner says it's just a cat. So what about it? Then the genius told the prisoner, that is our escape route. The prisoner looked at him and told him, I thought you were a genius, but now I see you are a fool, I am a genius. How will the cat provide an escape route? We are locked in here. The cat passes over the roof. And the prisoner is outside this place, watching that we don't go anywhere. Then the genius told him, can you get working appliances? All those things? We shall be digging slowly. And as you dig, because you are a strong man, me, I can't dig. I'm a genius. I'll be reciting poems and I will be singing songs. So that the prison warder is busy. I'll be banging things around. So he looked for some few things and he would bang. And as he banged, the prisoner dug. So the warder would ask, why are you making a lot of noise? And this guy will tell him, I'm trying to calm myself. You know, I am a genius, and where I was telling people things. So let me talk. After all, I'm locked up. You are out there. Listen to the things I'm telling you. And he would bang, and the prisoner would dig. And when it was near morning, they would cover that place. Everything he used to take, they would put in the pockets, put in some bags that you used to carry trash out with, and put that place, their beddings, clean the room. So in the morning when they came, it was a clean room. They left their bag, the small things that they had cleaned, and what they had dug for the day. So as they walked out there, they would drop those things slowly by slowly, and nobody would notice. It was just like the chaff and the dirt that was out there. It went on for a while, and eventually the prisoner was able to make a hole that they could go through. Going through, it meant they had to get on the opposite side of where the warder stayed, and they had to climb over the roof. So the genius told now the prisoner, now here is the plan. Exactly at before midnight, you will get out through that hole, climb on top using the small things they had put, they knew how they would climb, and crawl over the roof. And if it is discovered that there is movement, and the prison asks, who is it? Just say, meow, and he will think it's a cat. So that following day, the prison warder was out there. It was first the chance of the prisoner, hardcore prisoner, to get out. So he got out, and he was practical. He liked doing things practically. He was not a great thinker, but he was practical. So he got out through the hole and climbed and started crawling slowly, slowly, slowly. When he was almost finishing, one of the iron sheets made some noise, and the prison warder asked, what's happening? What's on the roof again? And he remembered he was to pretend to be the cat. So he said, meow. And the prisoner, it's just a cat. He was able to crawl over slowly, crawled to the edge of the prison, and got out and waited for the genius. And this time, it was time for the genius. And the genius went out and climbed. And again, that noise was there. And the prisoner, now what is happening? What is this nuisance of noise happening up there? And who is it? What is it? And the genius forgot that he was supposed to act the cat. He said, just another cat. And the prison warder sounded the alarm, sounded the siren. And when the hardcore prisoner heard that, he took off. But the genius could not think of even taking off. He kept saying, now I've escaped. I'm out of that cell. You cannot be able to lock me out of that cell, in that cell again. So he climbed out, and the warder raised alarm, and he tried to run. And as usual, when you run, sometimes when they can't apprehend you, they shoot. So he was shot dead. That was the sad ending of the genius. But the prison warder went to check in now for the fool, for the hardcore criminal. And on entering, he found there was nobody. When he moved around, he realized there was a place where the mattress had been, the beddings were, and they were there. When he pushed it aside, there was a big hole. That's when he realized that when they used to get out, they were digging the hole, they were putting everything in a sack, and what he used to see as trash out there was part of the wall. They found the pickaxe that was there. How it had been sneaked in, they could not be able to tell. The prisoner was gone. The genius was shot dead. What is this story about? In many places in our lives, we've been stagnating because in most cases, we are not pragmatic. Yes, pragmatism counts when it comes to implementing whatever one has been thinking. And that's why many of us, like the genius, are stuck in a rat race, a rat. Yes, no movement, nothing. We can talk of great things. We can plan great things. We can talk and talk. It happens everywhere, in working places, in life, in different situations. But when it comes to practically implementing what has been said or what we've been taught, sometimes we find behaving like the genius. We talk again what we've supposed to have done practically. It has happened in students' life. They go to school, they say, we shall study. And when the time comes, they go do their own things, carry the book. They never open the book, but they carry the books wherever they go. And eventually when the exam comes, they cannot be able to master anything because they were not pragmatic in their reading. They were not pragmatic in their research. They were not pragmatic in their work. They were not pragmatic in their life. They were not pragmatic in many things. He taught us this story when he was encouraging us to study. It gave us the impetus to move forward. We were able to study, we were able to research, we were able to do so many things. That is the first place I learned proper studying, that teachers training college first. Proper investigation. That's where I started learning investigations. Well, is it investigations? No, research. Yeah, you know research is investigation. I knew many would start saying, now you confused it. When you are researching, you are investigating about that idea, about those things. So what is my call? My call is for the world community to be pragmatic. The world countries to be pragmatic. Yes, the world leaders to be pragmatic. The world citizens to be pragmatic. Because if we are not pragmatic, we shall stick in the rat race. or be stuck in a rut, thinking that we are making progress, we are advancing, whereas we are stuck in the same place. So my take to all of us, my take to the population of the world, we want good things, we want good changes, economically, politically, change in the environment, our faith, our health, and new discoveries. We have to be pragmatic, like the hardcore criminal. Because being like that genius who was not pragmatic can result to a loss of the very idea of the very, 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 very important situation that you may be having at hand. My call to the population of the world, to the population of countries, to people serving in different positions in governments in the world. Pragmatism is the cure to stagnation in everything. That is my take for now.